All right, everyone. Well, welcome back, and we are very luckily joined this morning by Julio Arce, UFC standout. So, Julio, thank you very much for joining us today. So, look, man, getting straight into it, your early UFC tenure was filled with a murderer's row of dangerous fighters at both featherweight and bantamweight in Dan Ige, Daniel Tamer, Shayman Moraes, and Julian Arce. Do you think having to fight some of the best so early in your career has helped you acclimate to the UFC and kind of get used to the UFC environment a little bit more?
Pretty much. I mean, look, as that they say in the UFC, there's no easy fights. You know, like in boxing, they kind of build you up a little bit. In the UFC, it's like there was no easy fights in my road, and I had to fight some killers. But you know what? That's the way it's got to be. That's the league for you. You got to do what you got to do in there.
100%. Julia, you began your martial arts journey at Tiger Schulmann's martial arts, and as you put it, they took a chance on you as a chubby young kid. Can you give us a little insight into the impact that Tiger Schulmann, as well as your training partners, have had on your career and your personal life?
Well, pretty much you summed up everything for me. I started as a fat chubby kid, and I've been training for Tiger Schulmann's now for 21 years. And it's been they've been my one and only camp. They brought me from being this fat chubby kid to the level that I am now, and I'm super thankful for them. And I also have, I'm part owner of my own school in Bayside, Queens. So I think because they brought me in where I felt like I had nowhere to go. They trained me, got me in shape, and then from there, like, I wanted to pursue fighting. I wanted to get into competition. I loved being part of that. And next thing you know, start amateur. Next thing you know, I went pro, and next thing you know, I'm like, yo, let's go for the UFC, and here we are.
Yeah, for sure. So, look, Julio, you've had the majority of your fights in the USA. Do you have any desire in fighting more internationally? And if so, which countries would be on your list to go and visit and compete in?
Well, I totally want to go to London. That would be pretty freaking dope. I gave you like the UFC in London is so out of control, but it's so awesome that I want to be part of that. Other than that, I think early starting in the UFC, it wouldn't make a lot of sense because I guess as starting fighters, the pay is not the highest. So I think when you got to cover like expenses and stuff like that, it's a little difficult. But now I think at the point where I'm at, where I'm making much more in the UFC, I would love to go to London.
For sure.
Well, look, man, if you ever want to come to Australia, we'll happily have you.
Damn, Australia, that's a hike. See, I would want to go on vacation.
Yeah.
Imagine trying to cut weight, traveling from New York to Australia. That's the tough one.
Yeah, it would be, man. Look, man, I wanted to ask you, we're a few hours away from, one of the biggest featherweight fights of all time between, Volkanovski and Holloway, and the division is a big fight is a big fight in a division that you used to call home. Who have you got taking this one? Because, we're Aussies, we're obviously going to sort of barrack for Volk, but who you got, man?
Yeah, for me, like, it is a hard fight. This is tough because you got a much motivated Max Holloway, and I'm a huge Max Holloway fan, and Volkanovski too. Like, I've followed Volkanovski in the car a couple times, but like, I'm slightly leaning towards Max Holloway. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
That's all right. It's a tough one to call because you kind of want them both to win and don't want to see either of them lose. But look, Julio, you fought in both bantamweight and featherweight divisions respectfully. Whilst you're back in the bantamweight division, which of the two cuts have you found to be the more comfortable? Obviously, while you're going to be cutting more weight to bantamweight, we've seen some fighters, such as Edson Barboza and Jose Aldo, be able to move down divisions and almost find the bantamweight cut easier. So with the featherweight and the bantamweight cut, which one's easier for you and which one do you maybe prefer and perform better at?
Well, for the cut, it would be featherweight, but as you can clearly see, these featherweights are just freaking huge. And I'm natural bantamweight. So I would rather do the bantamweight where like I'm literally outsized by like these guys. You can like say if I stood next to me, clearly see that I don't belong in that division. I'm like, look, my teammate Shane, if I stand next to him, it's like he's huge.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm like I'm fighting like pretty much these guys are like the size of my teammate Shane.
Yeah.
So like for me, I'd rather go bantamweight, which is the right division for me, and then because that's where I'm gonna have like championship trajectory.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Julio, with a division full of contenders from top to bottom in the bantamweight division, with the possibility of some really exciting matchups, is there anyone in mind that you would love to fight next, or is it just whoever the UFC gives you, you're happy to face?
I think whoever. I think right now at the point where I'm at, like if I was like in the top 15, top 10, I would look forward to fighting. There'd be a couple guys that I won't fight, but for now, like I'm not there yet. I want to break into the top 15 and then look to fight some guys there. But so right now, it's like whoever the UFC is gonna give me. Like right now, I'm trying to look for a fight and hopefully get someone. I was trying to get on the same card as my teammate Shane in Long Island on July 16th, but there was no one available. So hopefully August or hopefully something soon.
Yeah, for sure. Well, look, Julio, final question for us. And look, we really appreciate you giving us your time, especially as you're driving around town. But one thing we like to do is we like to humanize the athletes and bring a bit of attention to fighters' personalities outside of MMA and outside of the gym. So in your downtime, when you're not training and when you're not recovering, what's some things that you enjoy doing outside of MMA and have a passion for?
Well, first and foremost, I mean, like if a lot of us didn't train MMA, we would all be professional eating champions.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's what we do. We freaking just people go off the deep end just eating. I would literally love to be like a food critic and just go to restaurants and just try out different foods.
Yeah.
Like, but most of us like look, just kind of spending time with family, you know, spending time with friends, just kind of hanging out. Like I keep it very low key. Just go out, you know, have some fun because, you know, like as fighters, we sacrifice a lot. You know, like we have to put a lot of things aside. Some fighters have to put their family. You know, like some fighters have kids. You know, marry, just focus on fighting. So,
Bit of a bad connection, maybe.
We still got you there, Julio. You still with us?
Yeah.
There you go.
But it's a tough one.
Yeah, for sure. Well, look, Julio, we really appreciate your time today, man.
There you go. I lost your chance for a second.
Well, there we go. All good, man. We're just saying thank you for coming on the show, man. And yeah, looking forward to having you on again in future if possible. And all the best in your training, man. Thank you for coming on.
Of course, bro. Thank you, man. Have a great day, guys. Enjoy.
See you, man.